Welcome back to our lecture series on the SQC Workbook. I am your host, Andre Lim, the Director for Lanka Institute of Quality Management. Today we'll be looking at the plan stage of your PDCA cycle. This is a fishbone diagram. It does show visually what are the causes to a problem. This is the problem, the effect. Always draw on the right hand side, and then after that you have your main bones and so on. So in this diagram you should get every member to participate in drawing this diagram. Okay, then you finish drawing it here like so in this part of your workbook. Then go on to the next phase. At this stage your team will have a bit of understanding on the problems, and because you can understand it a bit more, you can set a target. It's very important to set targets. The reason being, of course, that you will know when to stop the project, how far you want to go. If you don't set a target, you'll keep going on and you won't stop. So you need to set a target. You can use this idea, which is called SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. How much time you have to do the project. So set a target that is not low, not so low. Improvement by 1-2%, that's not worth doing a project. It has to be more than 20% to set a target. They set a high goal. You want to make 100% achievement, very difficult. Okay, it's difficult to find perfection in this world here. So set something realistic, improve by 60%, 70%, 80%. These are high goals. Low goals, 20%, 30%. Medium goals, 50%. Very low goals, under 10%, under 15%. And that's not worth doing a project. Okay, I like to see at least 30% and to 75%, 80%. Right, now here, once you set the target here, give reason also. Is there a reason why you set this target? For example, you want to be punctual on time, so you must reach school at 7:30. How many times must you be punctual at school? 100%. So it's okay. You can do a 100% target here. So, but maybe it's difficult to be 100% because sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's bus is overcrowded, bus breakdown, so it's inevitable. Sometimes you get late. So set a high target, 95%, 99%, 99.5%. Okay. Now, once you have done this, consider also containment action. Let me explain what is containment action. Suppose let me tell you a story. I went to a warehouse. In the warehouse, of course, you keep very expensive things. And there were goods, dried goods, that were stored in the warehouse in gunny bags. Sometimes the bags are not even closed, it's left open, and it's on the floor. Now, I noticed that the roof, which is a very high roof, has rusted through, and there were holes in it, and the windows were broken as well. So now there's a problem here, because these dried stuff are expensive things and they shouldn't be wet. You get moldy, you get off color, you get rancid, you get all kinds of problems. So you must maintain the dryness. So containment means you have to, before, of course, the solution, long-term solution is to change the roof, but that would be very expensive, takes a long time. So what is the solution? The solution is maybe move the table, move the items, put it in the higher position so that when the floor gets wet, the bottom of the sack won't get wet. Now, these are simple containment actions that you can do, which is very critical. Now, when you do such thing, make sure that you inform everybody who's involved in the process, because they might not be able to find things and so on. So it might cause other problems as well. So consider containment action. These are immediate action that you can do to prevent critical problems from furthering damaging products or damaging the image of your organization. Then you summarize your root points down here, the key causes of the problem, and what is your countermeasures. Okay, if the roof is leaking, well, change the roof. Well, maybe when you are changing the roof, also specify that it shouldn't be made of metal because it gets rusted easily. What other kinds of roof materials can you use? So this will be your countermeasures. Now this is for more advanced teams, so I'm not going to cover this. This is a decision analysis table here. I'll cover this another time. I'll talk a little bit about meeting agenda. Around this time here, you're used to getting your teams together. You're meeting a few times by now, maybe 4 or 5 times now. So you want to draw up an agenda. Agenda is something that you inform people beforehand. Don't just say, hey, meeting, tomorrow meeting, you know. What is the meeting all about? Who is going to do what in the meeting? What time is the meeting? Where is the meeting? When will it start? When will it end as well? Okay. Don't make a meeting too short. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, too short, you know. Half an hour, also very short. You need about an hour meeting to 1.5 hours to make it work well. It depends on the number of members that you have. The more members you have, the more time you need. Okay, so now in the do stage, you need to start develop your counter actions, your countermeasures. So in this column on the left hand side of this table here, fill up the root causes that will come from your fishbone diagram. Then the actions that to be taken. Of course, this may not have enough space in your workbook, so write on another piece of paper, you know. This is a bit small here, but of course then again, you know, this is just a simple workbook for you to follow the procedure. Who should do this? Okay, you can use some code. Okay, arrow code 1, arrow code 2, etc. Then you put another piece of paper here. Who's going to do it? Different team members here. When will they start? When will they end? Okay, so that you assign the job to different people. So that's why you work in a team, so that many hands make light work, and then it become more doable. If it's one person, it's too much. It's not doable. Now, for advanced teams, I also want you to consider using this method called a force field diagram. This is to ensure that your solutions are stable over a long period of time. You want to solve problems that is going to be lasting, not something that immediately after you implement the next day you go back to the same old situation. It needs to be long lasting. Okay. Now it's time for you to take some look into the problem. This is do a checklist of all the things that have gone wrong or gone bad or made the thing gone better. So I will stop for now, and I'll see you in the next session very soon. Thank you very much for your kind attention.